guys, Fusebox here, back from my little small vacation. I had a great time. Really needed to unwind, get away. I turned my phone off for a couple of days. So I'm back and I'm working on right where I left off, trying to build up my Skinwalkers. So today we're definitely going to go over, I meant to go over one Skinwalker, but I brought two up and a rare actually surprised me how good he is. So we're going to go over Fleshmonger. Actually a pretty solid champ. Also, I will say, even being gone for a few days, I'm able to keep up with this Versal, the Grim. I've been able to keep up with him. I was running spiders while I was gone. When I came back, I just real quick had to do a couple of artifact enhancement, do my arena real quick, and I'm right on track. My smaller account fell behind. My mid tier, I think, is still in it. I definitely know this one's going to get it. But, so it just goes to show it's really not all that hard. If you're just auto running, you can pretty much keep up with this, even if you're not die hard, ate your game all day. But let's get into this guy, Fleshmonger. All right. So I built up and meant to go over Flesh Terror first. Actually a really solid champ. We will go over him, but not today. I brought up alongside him Fleshmonger. And alright, so let's be honest. What are you going to want Fleshmonger for? He's a defense down champion. He's actually a heavy hitter. And when I say heavy hitter, his A1 is godlike. It's actually in-game, awesome, godlike. This rare can put out some damage. His AoE that breaks defense is just a strong attack. But his first A1 is actually strong. It's a two-hitter. You're going to build this guy basically for your faction wars or secret rooms where you need to bring Skinwalkers. To be honest, that's what you're going to bring him for. He has some flaws, but he has some amazing things going on. Pretty simple. Let's start with what makes him the one you want to build. He can break defense. Now, this is a 50% chance before you book it, and only 75% when you book it. So the first bummer, he's not a guaranteed break defense on everybody. Now, 75% plus sniper mastery does give you an 80% chance to break everybody's defense. For Skinwalkers, that's good. There's almost nobody that can do it. He's one of the standalone champions in the Skinwalker faction that can bring this, so he's worth building just for that. It is the big version of break defense. That's 100% why I built him. Then I started digging through his numbers, and I realized this guy is strong. He's got a 3-hitter on his A1, and it actually does top tier, god tier damage, like top 15% of the game. That's awesome for a rare. So he's bringing big damage, a 3-hitter. That's great against the Fire Knight. Now you can change affinity any way you see fit, so he could be useful there. You will mainly be building him for those Skinwalker specific places because you're missing 20%, and right now I'm missing 20% because I don't have all the books. I have booked out this much just every time I get a copy I put it into him, and now I'm actually giving him books. So I need 3 more books to be done, and this is a big deal. 20% more is a big deal on breaking defense. But his A2 actually gives him an increased attack, increased crit rate buff, and then grants him an extra turn. This goes down to a 3-turn cooldown. So every 3 turns he's increasing his damage output, getting an extra turn, putting him right back into either this tornado cleaver where he breaks defense or that 3-hit A1 doing damage. So you can build this guy out to do serious damage. Now I have to say I did not put him in like super high end damage gear, but I did give him some ability to do damage, and he could be built out very strong. Now I put him in lifesteal gear and gave him more survivability than you probably would if you wanted to get that big damage out of him. Now remember, it's a single target damage dealer that does the big damage. So he's going to be good on bosses, which again brings you back to Faction Wars. He's a really fun champ. There's one other reason to build him. Otherwise, he's mainly going to be for this faction because he just doesn't have that 100% chance. But so I put him in lifesteal gear. I did go for an attack chest, a big one, when I realized his numbers were so good. But you'll notice the rolls I have, they're not really lining up with damage on a lot of this. I have a very little attack here. I did get my crit rate up. A little bit of speed. He needs speed. I don't have any silver. Got to roll him up. So this is just, if you're building him, even though some of this is big gear, look at what I got accuracy, of course, crit rate, very little speed, a little bit of HP. So there's really nothing special going on with my gear. If you wanted to put this guy, like murder him out, he's just going to need attack rolls everywhere you can get it, high crit damage, and then you're ready to go. So, of course, I did go for crit rate and crit damage, at least fairly aggressively. Everything else, I actually was taking HP rolls, accuracy rolls. I do have a 5-star crit damage gloves on him. A little bit of crit rate, but look, defensive rolls. So this is not ideal gear. These speed boots aren't even rolled up, but they had some crit rate, some attack. I do, not rolled up, but accuracy enough to get over that magic 220 so I could use him. Crit damage necklace that's not finished out, and attack ring that just is not rolling on attack. So he could be built so much stronger. We'll go ahead and look at where I'm at. Barely survivable HP until I roll up that helmet and everything else. Decent attack for a rare, but definitely not crazy. 3,000 attack. Defense, he's pretty low on his base defense. It's like 870. So I actually did pump a lot of extra defense into him. It's just because I was fitting him into a lifesteal gear with crit rate rolls. So really that just happened by coincidence. But that helps because I have low HP. He needs more speed. Absolutely. I'm going to have to roll. I haven't glyphed out everything. I've got to get him in faster boots. They just need to be rolled up. Get him, really, if he's your debuffer, you want him to go one of the first on your team. But anyways, we're going to work with what we got. Crit rate's not at 100. I have a couple of legendary pieces that I'm hoping to roll one more time on crit rate. I do have decent crit damage. Nothing to write home about. No 250 or any of that. 185. And then the accuracy that I need. That's where I'm at. And in this, I'm telling you, 3,000 attack, 180% crit damage. He's nothing. There's nothing special about this build. The lifesteal is nice. He does big damage that heals him up good. We'll go over the masteries I used anyway. So I wanted to play off that damage. He's not bringing much, right? well, let's start here. I took some extra accuracy. I did speed him up because right now he's slow without the silver to roll up those boots. So this, when his debuffs wear off, gives him some turn meter, kind of helps speed him up. My dog is really having a play day over here. Alright, so Lure of Steel, obviously get anything out of any sets that you have, like extra accuracy, extra speed. With that lifesteal, this doesn't do anything, but I don't know how he's going to end up one day when I really spend some time in silver on him. Sniper, absolutely I would put it on this guy. That gives you that 80% once he's booked out. So we're playing at 55 right now, I believe. Yeah, so it can be much better when I get those last 3 books. But over here, I went ahead and built him into a damage dealing build. I wanted to see this guy work. Plus, it's in the Skinwalkers. I really need damage with that debuff. So obviously, I took the crit rate, the crit damage, and I went ahead and took increased damage while I have full HP. Hopefully, I can manually get through the waves on the last stage and keep him high health. I went ahead and took Whirlwind of Death, speed him up as he kills people. He does do enough damage to kill people. I took Ruthless Ambush. I'm going to go ahead and strengthen the first time he hits an enemy. Try to do more damage. Opportunist, it increases his damage against stun, fear, true fear, freeze. So anything I can put out, obviously I will be wanting to put out to CC since I have fairly weak heroes in my Skinwalkers faction. So I probably will be doing some CC, and that will make him do more damage as he goes. I do Methodical. His A1 is where his damage comes from. Let's let it be stronger. Kill streak. I did take Cycle of Violence. We will find out. Is it enough? On basically through the waves and the things that I'll be actually using Fleshmonger for, he'll be able to do 30% of the damage. I'm not going to probably be using him in hard mode Doom Tower, let's be real. So I think that this will work out for him. Anything to kind of just keep him cycling through. Helm Smasher, an odd choice, but I'm taking it. Now, I think he does enough damage with a 3-hitter A1 to, instead of putting him in Giant Slayer, if I'm really struggling on the final boss of Faction War, I will go to Giant Slayer with the free reset. But for now, that's where I landed. He's a really solid champ. I mean, he's gross looking, but he's neat. It's cool. They very unique looking champion. And again, I can't stress it enough. He is fun to play, and I do love fun champions. He's a rare. Let's take him into 12-3, and he actually is one of those heroes that can level himself, which he just did, by the way. There is a chance of getting weak hits in here, but anyways, solid damage without a big damage build. He just absolutely, he gets that extra turn by increasing his attack, his crit rate, puts him right back into his little 3-hitter. He usually kills him in 1 or 2 hits, right back into his A3, doing the AoE damage. I haven't been paying attention to the debuff until I get those books. It's not worth staring at, but he kills him anyway. He's killing him without the debuff. He's a tough rare. Really, I could see him being useful early game on the defense down. I don't know. He's really not gonna. It's not accurate enough with his defense down to put him on the clan boss. But that A1 on a boss you could do Giant Slayer and get some damage out of him. I may be switching that just to let you know. All right, so let's play around with this guy. A great place. The reset just happened on Doom Tower, so I can't show much in here. We've only had 2 days on it, but we do have this rare champion spot. So also, look at in dungeons. It won't help here, but he's actually got a 23% attack aura in dungeons. That's not bad if you're looking for more damage. Usually, if you're struggling or early game, you're probably going to want defense or speed auras, but that's a pretty solid dungeon aura for damage. But we'll just throw him in here and go through this all rare team. See, I wish I had him faster so I could go ahead and he'll probably kill everybody. I'm going to save this move. Let's save that for the next round and see if we can actually throw it out before we hit with Fellhound. Because Fellhound's going to kill everybody, I'm quite sure. Alright, so here we're just going to pick on people. Now let's go ahead and let's see if we can get lucky. We broke half their defense, just making Fellhound do even more damage. But of course, we get big damage out of this guy himself. So we can, every time we do that, we're getting closer to that cooldown. And then pretty much kill anybody you want with him. And nothing big here, but he could be a solid part of your team. Now, definitely would want those books on him. There are better defense down champions. If you're really just wanting that debuff, War Maiden or Dagger are going to probably be a little bit better, but 80% once he's booked out is solid. He's a strong enough champion to do what he's got to do. So let's take advantage of his A3. Let's go into Fire Knight. We'll just pick a Fire Knight stage. Let me set something up, and let's see if we can take advantage of that A3 and let him be our defense down character. Even though it won't be perfect, we should be able to come up with a team that's pretty solid. Okay, so let's just try a 100% free-to-play team. You get all of these champions. You get her the first month you play. You get her after 180 days, and then finally you get Vizix the Unbowed. You get the first time you rack up enough points to get him from normal Doom Tower. You get Archmage Helmet, and then we're going to throw in our defense down, our halfway defense down champ, the big pig himself, Fleshmonger. We're going to take the speed aura and try to keep ourselves moving fast. We have a little bit of turn meter depletion for when we get to him. We're going to be sped up even more by Archmage Helmet. And between Vizix, Archmage Helmet, and Seal, you have a ton of control. Stuns coming out left and right, which will make Fleshmonger do more damage as he goes. Vizix is built to do pretty good damage. So is Seal of the Drake. So he's not going to be... Well, we'll see. This is stage 21, by the way. That's going to line my affinity up better for him. So we'll put it on auto, we'll slow it down. Everybody else is just doing their thing. He's a little slow, so he'll be coming around right here. And, we had a 1 week hit. We did land 2. We got break defense on 2. But there's so much control, we should get right back around to him. Let's go ahead and... he's next, and then we'll speed it up. So he gets his extra turn. Takes a 3-hitter, does really solid damage for a rare that's not built to do really big high end damage. So let's speed this up. We don't want to be here all day. We may cut through some of the waves or speed through them. Because, let's see, he should be coming back around pretty quick. Now that he used his A1 again, I imagine he'll be coming right back around to his break defense move after the extra turn. So he breaks defense on all three of them. Not bad at all. If he was booked out, you would be seeing more often than not the entire team, maybe one every now and then getting missed, break defense, making him viable to bring even if you did have other champions. Because he brings that 3-hitter and that A1. Now, he would do better if we did have Giant Slayer against this boss, but I'm using him as wave damage as well. So Helm Smasher versus Giant Slayer, definitely up to you. He's going to benefit more on waves from Helm Smasher, benefit more on bosses from Giant Slayer. Let's just, let's kind of speed this up. Well, it's not really taking all that long. We might as well watch it and see how this goes. So the lifesteal gear, plus Seal of the Drakes being on this team, no problem. The lifesteal gear is a great way to build a rare that has low defense. You saw that I did squeeze extra defense into him. But that lifesteal gear, and you know he's slow. Everybody on this team is built fairly well on speed, probably around 200. So with our speed buffs constantly coming out, stuns from Archmage Helmet, stuns from Seal, we got provokes and slows coming out from Vizix. This is a really solid team to take anywhere their affinity lines up. Plus or minus Fleshmonger. We're just fitting him in to show what he can bring. So as far as free-to-play teams go, I really like this team. Just throwing that out there. Once you get to the point you have Vizix the Unbowed, she is absolutely worth booking out. I do have her booked. I have Seal of the Drakes, should be booked as soon as possible. Best champion in the game. Archmage Helmet fits right up there with one of the best epics in this game. Yeah, I'm seriously one of the best. So here we are. We're at the boss. Just throwing that out there. Hakatoon, always overlooked. So we got that 3-hitter going to help us tearing down the shield. Here we go. 3 hits. I don't know if we're outpacing him enough. We'll probably have to go one more round. Hopefully the stars align and we get that shield down. We'll have to see. Once we get it down, we'll have some turn meter control. But that 3-hitter is actually one of the better moves on this team. To be honest, we have a lot of 2-hitters. I probably should get in there and not auto this. Make sure they're all doing A1s. And right there, bad AI. He used his break defense move, which is a single target hit. So I don't like the AI. But I think we're going to line up a whole lot better after this run. So we got 2 hits here, 1 here, 1 there. Hoping for an extra turn from her. We didn't get it. But here we got the big pig coming in. We need 4 more. I probably should manual this to make sure I get through the shield. But there we go. Now we just need turn meter, and we're not going to get enough, are we? Alright, so I'm going to speed this up and see if we actually get through it. We'll just kind of play it up. Okay, I put it on manual to make sure that I'm breaking through this guy's. I do want to try to get his defense down while I have the chance. We did land it. That's pretty good. Hopefully we'll get a little turn meter here, just a little. That might be enough. So we need to speed back up. Oh, we go for turn meter. We got to go for turn meter. A little bit there. A little bit here. We might can get this guy under control. This team doesn't have quite the turn meter we need, but we're going to speed ourselves up. We're going to have to. We're just. So it's going to be a long fight. Oh, it's going to be a long one. We're still keeping him at bay. Sort of, right? If we can land, we got slow on him, so that's good. I think I should have set this up to Vizix only user A1. So I'm pretty much gonna have to manual this to try to keep that turn meter down, and we'll have to break the shield again. So this is gonna be a long fight, without a doubt. It's gonna be a long fight. I'll skip to the end in just a minute. Okay, so I had to deal with my dog, and that was just a long fight, anyways. But what are we left with? Did his damage really outshine anybody? He's not built to be a huge damage dealer. It's just his A1. If we had given him these higher damages, do have War Master. If he had Giant Slayer, he would have done a lot more there. But he did bring defense down on the boss consistently, and through the waves, he would have been pretty consistent if I had those last 3 books. Of course, I don't. For a stage 21, not too bad. But you get the idea. He's going to be good anywhere that you need Skinwalkers, because I don't believe, maybe there's a legendary, but in the Skinwalkers, I don't think we have anybody else that brings break defense. I don't believe on the rares. I could be wrong. Let me know if I am, but without digging through them all, he is the only break defense. And then on these legendaries, I'm not 100% sure, honestly, but because I have 0, I have none. But on these rares, I'm telling you, there's some decent Skinwalkers on the rares. Greybeard's pretty solid. Gnarlhorn is amazing. Fleshmonger is amazing. Grappler's pretty solid. I've got him built out too. So there's a lot of good rares, but he fits right in. Like I say, Flesh Terror, I wanted to do a guide on, but Fleshmonger turned out to be kind of a hidden gem. I wish they were up. I can't wait to try him out. And now that I have a couple of them built out to 60, I'm ready to get in there. I did use all my gems to go ahead and give him masteries, because I need him ready for the next time they give me a Skinwalkers. So there you go. Hopefully you're sticking with this guy. He's going to be great. If you don't have an amazing provoker already, like Molly Tankard or something, he could play that role. But he has an A1, which means he's as good as War Chief. Maybe the best hero in the game to go up against a Magma Dragon. HP base, can throw out serious damage, can get a 2-hitter if things go right. Definitely, when he gets attacked, he can provoke. He's a solid champion. You never know when you're going to want somebody in your arsenal one day. So even if you don't need him today, I would suggest trying to get him. It's definitely doable. Save those shards. You know that we're going to have to do another summoning event sooner or later, a tournament. I just keep managing your resources. Listen to me as I use all my gems. But I'm going to be all right. I do the $10 gem pack, so I get gems every day. So hopefully that will help out too. But also, right now, the speed, the 2 times speed gear is going on during the Dragon tournament. So absolutely the best time probably ever to run Dragon right now. And, I'm going to go over Flesh Terror probably tomorrow. But what I want to start showing, I have almost, let's go by faction. I've almost gotten every single one of the epics on the Shadowkin. So let's find those Shadowkin. You might be interested in some of these. I'm definitely slowly building them out, but I can't wait. They're all amazing. So where in the world is the Shadowkin? Maybe it's down at the bottom, huh? Yeah, they're not. I'm not going to be making this guide tomorrow or anything, but I've got on another account, I've got Oboro, and she's amazing. I've got her maxed out. Of course, we've got Yoshi, but Sachi, Chani, definitely Shani is cool, man. She's got the deal where accuracy in a small percentage becomes crit rate, so she's really fun to kind of play with. I've got Gimbo, who is absolutely solid as a rock. He can be a speed lead. He's great in the arena. Really strong champs. I got Gory. So, if there's one or two of these, even some of these rares are not so bad. If there's any of these you want to kind of look over, maybe mention it. I'll keep that in mind as I'm building my roster. Of course, right now we're under a champion and training event, so I'm really pushing my Skinwalkers. It will be a while before I can get to those. But if you're interested, throw them out there. I love your input. I'd love to build a hero that we both have. So if you've got an interest in one of those Shadowkin, let me know. They'll be coming down the road. That's it, guys. Sorry I was gone for so long, but I had a great time. I needed the break. Me and the wife had a wonderful time together. And until next time, enjoy the grind.